Some asshole dumped his rig on the 405 just north of Bellflower. Better tell Safeco I'm gonna be an hour late." Jess Stark leaned forward and tapped the dispatch mic. "And you're where exactly?" "Not even crawling by the Los Alamitos exit," came the frustrated voice over the radio speaker that sat right next to Jess's computer. Jess clicked the mouse a few times, scanned a couple of Los Angeles virtual traffic pattern maps, and then spoke into the mic again. "Swing on to the 605 North." The squawk over the radio was equally mechanical and human. "Oh, man! That's completely the wrong direction!" Jess kept his voice at an even keel as he offered up auto-guidance advice to the miffed messenger. "You head up to the 91, then go west. If that blocks up, which it probably will, get on the 710 North and take it up to the 105. Go west until you hit the 110, and you'll cruise north into downtown from there." "That's like a dozen freeways, Jess." "5. 6, counting the one you're stuck on." "How am I supposed to keep track of all that?" whined the driver. "You don't. That's why I'm here. You just drive." Jess patiently began repeating the numbers in sequence: 605, 91, 710, 105, 110, till it became the messenger's mantra. By the time the driver got onto the 605 North, the anxiety had fled from his voice, and Jess clicked off, knowing the package would reach its destination on time. "I could have just called the client and told him we were running late," said Rose, Modern Messenger's Jill of all trades. 20-something, she was getting some kind of degree over at Cal State LA in the evenings, while during the day she answered phones, billed clients, and tried to keep the books in line. "And because we missed our 1-hour guarantee, the run goes to AAA delivery next time, or whoever is listed first in the yellow pages." Jess tapped the radio. "Plus this way, Clayton learns more shortcuts, and I hold his hand less." Rose harumphed. "Long as he doesn't miss an off-ramp, then he'll never get there." Jess chose not to respond. Rose was one of those girls who needed to get the last word in, which meant this conversation could continue until next Tuesday. But she was a whiz with a calculator and balance sheet, and those were two things he was happy to keep on her portion of the double-sided partner's desk that sat in the center of the tiny El Monte dispatch office. Jess had driven for the company before taking the desk job. Blowing out an engine on his old Nissan by piling up close to 100,000 miles in less than 3 years and a multitude of speeding tickets had made the decision simple. And he couldn't stand one more day at the so-called comedy traffic schools to wipe out a violation. Jess's own private tour of hell. When Old Man Martinez decided to retire, it left an opening behind the dispatch mic. Jess was happy to fill it. Running 24 drivers all over town wasn't quite working the LAX control tower, but he liked the fact that most people he dealt with were just faceless voices pouring over the radio speaker or out of a phone headset. Jess took pride in the fact that he had upped the on-time delivery percentage from under 80% to 98% in the year he'd been behind the desk. Occasionally, circumstances beyond his control would cause a run to slip through the cracks. A package that wasn't ready, a wrong address, the 2%. But recently, he had found drudgery creeping into the job. Jess could tell because he was doing more Sudoku puzzles and reading 2 detective novels at once while dispatching his fleet. The challenge had been laid down and met. Jess knew he was ready for greener pastures, but didn't have the slightest idea where to go look for them. It was one of the reasons he had taken to doing the Santa Anita run himself, even though it meant tempting the engine trouble fates or the El Monte cops chasing a citation quota. Sure, he could have worked it into one of the driver's schedules, but he got him out of the office 4 days a week and let Rose feel like she was steering the ship for a bit, though upon his return Jess invariably had to reroute messengers she had spread all over the City of Angels. At 2:30, Jess walked out to the parking lot, jumped into his year-old SUV, and headed up Peck Road toward Arcadia. Shortly before 3, he pulled into the racetrack parking lot, which was so vast it had doubled for Wally World, the amusement park in National Lampoon's Vacation. He paid his admission and